Good morning. I have read the story of Joseph many times. Most of us know that story of his brothers being so jealous of him, selling him into slavery. But Joseph, he always had faith in God. And so even though he had been sold into slavery, he was faithful to God. And this morning in my readings, I was reading Genesis 50. And this was after his father had passed away. His father's family, including his brothers and their families, were all in Egypt, and Joseph was taking care of them. Well, the brothers were afraid because now that the father had passed away, Jacob, they thought that Joseph would now retaliate against them for what they had done so many years ago when he was a teenager. But Joseph didn't. Joseph forgave them because Joseph understood something that so many of us don't. And that is God always has a plan and God is in control. Here's what Joseph said to them in chapter 50, verse 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. So often we go through really, really bad things. Bad things happen to us, or we go through a long period and we don't understand why things seem so lost, so bad. But oftentimes what is happening is God is preparing you for a time in which he is going to use you in a mighty way. Remember Esther. Mordecai said to Esther, and who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. So even though we don't always understand what God is doing, and even though God's timing is not our timing, God has a plan for you and he has a plan for me. We have to learn to trust God, and we have to learn not to get weary in well-doing, as the Bible tells us. No matter what is going on in your life, look to God. Ask God to give you faith to trust him no matter what your circumstances are showing you. You see, Joseph, when he was taken into slavery, he stayed faithful to God. He did everything that God told him, and he stayed away from sin. Remember, Potiphar's wife tried to tempt him, but Joseph didn't give in. Joseph trusted God through it all. And at the end of it, God used him mightily to save his people. I want God to use me. And so I am going to trust God as we go through this trying time that I'm going through in my life. I'm going to trust God because who knows what God is doing? God may be working things out for me and you, putting us in a position to do mighty things, putting us in a position for such a time as this, putting us in a position to save many lives, putting us in a position to do his will. Let us stay faithful to God no matter what is going on and trust in his timing. And you know why I can say all of this? Let me end with Philippians 1 verse 6. I know you're familiar with it. Being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ. So no matter what is going on around us, saints, we can trust that Almighty God, who started this good work in us, he will complete it. Hold on and get ready for what God is going to do in you and through you. Have a blessed, blessed day.